Welcome back. Today we're taking a look into my bill binder. I have Bill Book. It is about a 1-inch better binder from Staples. I found that these are really good binders. They have a plastic cover to them, which makes them really sturdy and durable, with the rubber ends and a rubber place on the spine, so they are on the bend part so they don't break. I love these better binders. I bought this one in 2010, I think it was, because that's when I started doing my bill book, and I've been using the system ever since, and it's worked and it ain't going nowhere. I also have a little thing on the side that says bills, because my binder actually lives on my bookshelf. One thing I like about the better binders, normally instead of that saying bills on the side, if you look, there's a piece of paper and it'll come with it, and it comes way down below it. But what you do is you pull that, it'll say like a 1.5-inch better binder. You pull that out, and when you do, if I can get it out with one hand, let's see, now I'm going to struggle with it. It will come out, and it'll say, please tear off here, and then you write what you want to write, which I have bills on it, and then you rip the rest of the extra part off, then you slide it right back in there. So if you don't have a I don't know what those things are called, a labeler, which mine is currently doesn't have any tape to it, you could do something like that. And that's what I did, because at the time when I made this, I did not have a labeler, and so I went old school. I just wrote it on there. These right here, let's see if I can find where here we go, are called pocket binders. They're also available at Staples. They hold a 200 sheet letter size capacity. They have a Velcro closure on them. I've never had any problems with these coming apart at all. And I have opened and closed these many times, and I've not had any trouble with it coming apart at all. So these have really held up. You could, I would say, if you ask them when you go in for that item number right there, and they could probably pull it up on the computer and find it for you, or find something that's close to it. They also have the holes in the side to be able to put it into a binder. And as you can see, it's kind of like a little pocket, so you can really get some papers in there. And I've had this pretty full. I'll be honest with you, I need a bigger binder itself. Also, something I'm going to say is the better binders are made by Staples, and they anything that's got the Staples, that's made by Staples, you have a lifetime guarantee on it. So if anything goes wrong with it, you can return it back, and they will give you another one at no charge. That is one reason why I use the better binders. If, because I pack this thing pretty full. If this breaks, it don't matter what it is. If something goes wrong with it, it's going to, I'm going to take it back, and they're going to replace it for me. That's what I love about the better binder. And it's got a little pocket, a poly pocket. I did a thing on the computer years ago that I started out with, all the bills that I was paying at the time. But of course, all that's changed over the years. And then I decided to do this because I got to revamp it anyways, because I have new bills they've got to go in here because with the move, we have a new electric company. Of course, we have a new landlord, but I'm going to show you what I've got. So this is pretty much an in and out system. Like, let's go to rent. Every time we pay the rent, I open this up and I put my rent receipts in there. You know, and so they're all in one spot. Probably the whole time that we ever rent, they will probably stay in this envelope. They probably will not come out of it, because I don't know about most landlords. They give you those little envelopes, those little receipts, and normally they take about that much room. So I would probably just keep them all in here, and so that way I'll always have them. Then once the year is done, I might staple that year together so they don't get bundled up with the next year. The other thing I do is I keep a page protector in with my behind the envelope, or the binder envelope where I keep my rent receipts. And in this, which I haven't put my new one in yet, I put the rental agreement in here. So that way, if I ever need to refer to it for whatever reason, I can put my hands on it just like that. I had to do that a couple of times and needed to know where it was immediately. And I knew it was in my binder, and it come in handy. Another thing that I do with the power company, so I pay, like, the power company is a little different, because that is on I don't keep those bills forever and ever and ever. I get the electric bill and I pay it. When I'm done, I open this up, I put my electric bill inside here. And they stay in this envelope for a year, and at the end of the year, January the 1st, or that first week in January, I reach in and grab all those bills out, except for maybe the December one. The rest of them I pull out and I toss them. The company that we were with, we had been with them for a very long time, and so I knew I was never going to have a problem, so I didn't keep them but a year, and I tossed them. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not, but that's what I do. We're now with a new power company. I don't know. I will probably keep them a little bit longer, maybe a couple of years, just because I don't know this new company like I did the old one. But another thing I did, and I've got to switch this all out as well. I covered our information, but this is also in a sheet protector, because it's not something I pull out. It's something that I refer to. So, I write down the phone number for outages and billing. So if there is something on my bill that I have a complaint for, and let's say I don't want to necessarily, this is not really for billing, it's more for there's an outage. So my lights have went out. Well, you've got to call the power company and tell them that your lights are out. Well, instead of going in the envelope, you know, and pulling out a bill and finding that number, I have it written down right here. And then I have my account number. And then here is some other information they need to know. And then this is where we go to pay our bill, and how they there's a little fee that we have to pay if we pay it there. So I put it there to remind me. We had a real bad windstorm. I don't even know what year it was, but it was called Durakio, and our power was out for a week and a half, something like that. It was awful. And the first thing I did when our lights went out, of course I wasn't looking in that envelope. I went straight to this and went looking for the power information, and it was right there at my fingertips. It was really nice to have this right on hand. Besides that, I also keep these in there too. They're like poly envelopes. I use these as another thing because I couldn't. I didn't want to go back to Staples and get these, and I just happened to have these on hand. I like the slanted pockets. This one is by Avery. Avery makes them. It makes it convenient to put stuff down inside that slanted pocket instead of having it straight across down here, and it could possibly, the papers could fall out. These are deep pockets. This stuff does not come out. But what I like about Avery is they have the tabs. So if you couldn't find the binder pockets, you could definitely use these tabs and use these pockets, and they're double-sided as well. So you have a pocket on both sides, and Avery makes them, makes these, and I've had this one for quite a while too, and the only thing I'm noticing, and I don't use that tab except to flip to it, it is ripping a little bit. But, you know, I'm not really using the tab. It's more of I need the pocket to put bills in. And this is pretty much my bill binder. You know, my medical bills, I take those out and file them. They don't stay in here. Once I pay them, because I have accumulated last year with the surgery of my hand and stuff, I've accumulated a lot of bills that we're slowly trying to pay. So I decided to do this. But these right here have come really, really, really in handy for my everyday bills. Now, let me say something about car insurance. The bill that we pay monthly goes inside here. All that extra stuff that they give you that tells you how much coverage you get and all that, that does not go in here. That goes in my filing cabinet. Because our insurance is only like 6 months. I think it goes every 6 months. Sometimes it goes every 8, depending on the insurance company they go with. But I don't see a sense. I don't put that in here because I know where it's at. It's in the filing cabinet. I just keep the receipts in here. And then at the end of the 6-month cycle, they renew it. They send me a whole nother big insurance packet. And that's when all that gets thrown away. I also have another one for medical insurance as well. And the medical insurance, when it changes every year, all those papers and stuff get thrown away. And then those go in my filing cabinet, not in here. I'll put explanation of benefits inside of these, not the actual, all that extra paper of what's covered, and that goes in my filing cabinet. This is just for the bills itself. As far as the banking information, the same thing. I just put in the statements for a few months, and then they go into the filing cabinet. Sometimes it's more simpler just to throw it in here than it is to put it in the filing cabinet. I do have an extra one, and what my extra is, it's not extra bills. This is what, I have a pocket, and I'm out of them now. I need to get some more, but I try to keep envelopes and stamps, and you see I have some of these envelopes with the little windows, that they send you in the mail. Sometimes I lose mine, or I'm like, I can't find it, so I keep just 2 or 3 extra just in case I need them to pay a bill. That's what goes in here, is envelopes, stamps, anything I would need to mail it goes in this one. It actually should go on the back, but at the time, that's the way I did it. So, it's a pretty simple system. I've been using it for a long time, and it works for me, and it keeps me on track. Sometimes with like the electric bill, and something else I do, on the actual envelopes themselves, when I pay the bill, I write down what I paid, how much I paid, like the electric bill, insurance, anything like that. I write on the envelope itself how much we paid, when we paid it, and how we paid it. So if it's a check, I write the check number down. If it was a money order, I say a money order. And I write it on the actual envelope itself. so that way I can refer to it. But honestly, like I said, the electric company, I've never had to refer to it. So this is my bill book. Tell me in the comments below, how do y'all keep track of your bills, and what's your bill system? Do you have something like a bill binder, or do you do something different? Because I'll tell you, my biggest issue is when the bills come in, before they go into the system, I really don't have a system for them when they come in the door. So what do you do when they come in the door, and then where do you put them in a filing cabinet? Or what do you do? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, guys. Bye.